So Rani, Lummy, the realtor of the stars in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
She finds out that Hogan's going to be at this Oklahoma quickie liquor store.
Way out there.
Wherever. And she finds out Hogan's going to be there slinging his new Hulk Hogan All-American beer. And she gets a hold of Merch Crick and says, hey, I'd like to go there and, bring up Bubba. Because, God, you tried to get in contact with him and we got served a restraining order.
Yes.
And really, Gene, nothing's stopping you from, he does karaoke night. I think is it Tuesday nights?
Yeah, it was Tuesday karaoke night.
Well, let me try to figure that out because maybe we could send Lasker down there one day.
Can I go down there with him?
Well, we'll figure all that out. So this is really the first opportunity that we've had anybody, that would actually get in front of or get next to or have an opportunity to talk to Terry about me. And so we came up with this plan. Erica's talking to me, and I'm like, listen, he's really, really into God and Jesus right now. So if Rani walks up as she meets him and says...
It's Mondays, by the way.
What's that?
Monday main event karaoke.
Okay, so maybe we can figure out something, but let's not tell on ourselves on the radio.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. So through Erica said she needs to walk up and say, you know what, I really appreciate the fact that you have been baptized and I'm religious too. Can we pray together? Now, anybody, Lummy, that's now a publicly born again Christian, it's all about praying.
Of course.
You're never going to tell a guy,
brother,
no,
I don't pray when I'm on the clock.
I don't pray when I'm slinging my biz here or there, Riz.
Of course.
So she walked up and said...
it takes big balls to do this, by the way.
And I have a picture of Rani. Thank you so much. So she walked up and she said, I'm asking you to pray with me. And I'm asking... and I guess they grabbed hands and prayed. And she said, I asked Jesus to put Bubba in Terry's heart and for him to forgive Bubba. Oh. And that's what she's...
That's hardcore.
Lummy, I got to give Rani...
That's good.
You can't escape that.
You're in a corner.
Yeah. And do you know what he says?
What?
First of all, he wasn't expecting it. She said he was completely taken back by it. He says, I do forgive Bubba, but I can't trust him, so I will never be friends with him ever again.
Oh.
So that's what the official statement is. Here's what I don't understand, and I'm going to say a couple things. You trusted me enough on some stuff that I can't even talk about on the air. You trusted me enough with something, this wasn't even all my fault. Now, the sex tape is a lot my fault, but there's a lot of stuff. That's what the documentary is going to highlight. And he knows the truth. He knows the chain of command and how that got disseminated, and I didn't have anything to do with that. And, he knows. I've also done some, I don't know what the statute of limitations are, but I've done some very illegal stuff that kept his son out of prison. That's all I'm going to say. And if I hadn't done what I did, his son would have not registered as low as he did when they tested him for his blood alcohol content after the John Graziano crash.
Do you appreciate that he forgives you?
That's easy to say. Oh, I forgive him. But if you say I forgive him, but I'll never be his friend, then that just builds you the insulation of never having to deal with me ever again.
That's playing with the God stuff.
That's just that's bullcrap. I forgive him.
Yeah, turn your cross upside down.
I can say, I forgive Spice Boy, but I could never trust him, which means I hate his guts and I'm never going to see him again. So Hogan forgets. He's so and at the end of the day, man, didn't this sex tape that he feels I did him so dirty on
put him back on top?
Didn't that put him back on top financially?
Exactly.
He was broke.
He was really broke at that time.
Broke, and broke, and it's estimated that after it was all said and done, I don't know it to be true. Rumor on the streets, rumor has it.
And truthfully,
is that after it was all said and done, he settled with Cox and he got the $35 million from Gawker. Out of the Gawker settlement, he took home $9 million. This is just what I've been told. Don't know it to be true. And on the Cox settlement, he didn't have to split that off. He was already wealthy enough to pay the hourly rate. So out of the $55 million they broke off, he took home $40 million. So roughly he made about $50 million on the sex tape.
But truthfully, too, during his life, him with the N-word on TV, it went a lot better for him, and the people forgived him for that, and that went away because he was victimized with a sex tape.
Right.
So if he wasn't victimized with a sex tape, he would still be begging for forgiveness on that N-word and never coming to the top.
So
getting away from that. But because of that, he did.
There's so many things that I did for him that I feel he should take in consideration while, saying that he can't ever trust me. You trusted me enough to do something very illegal to keep Nick out of prison. Statute of limitations has run on that. And one day I'll tell the story, but it'll blow your mind when I tell you what I did. And I got to be careful. But, there was a reason why Nick Hogan registered a .002 blood alcohol content when they drew his blood in the emergency room after the Graziano wreck. There's a reason why that. He and Graziano had been drinking beer with Hogan at Shepherd's that day of the crash. And I was the first one. Hogan called me. He said, get to the Bayfront Center immediately. There's been a terrible accident. It was when I was still, on 102.5 The Bone.
Yeah.
And so I pull right up in there. All the cops let me right on in. They tell me where Hogan's at. And I got a few of our lawyers on the phone, and they instructed me what I needed to do. And I can't go any further than that. But it just shows you that it saddens me that he is a narcissistic, selfish son of a bitch, and that we can't be friends. Or listen, I don't want $1. I don't want $1 of his money.
He was never one of the boys.
He was always out for himself.
Yeah.
Always.
Yep.
I mean, he used my show to promote Brooke, to put pressure on Sheriff Rice to get Nick moved out of solitary confinement, to defend his actions against Linda and Charlie. He used my show to talk smack. I mean, Lummy, how many phone calls do you have as you guys go through the archives of him calling up and saying, I'm telling you right now, man, Charlie's riding my motorcycles, my jet skis, driving my Viper.
Who was that, Linda's boyfriend?
Yeah. I mean, every day he would call and woes me on, the fact that, he's not sleeping in his own home. A 20-year-old guy that's the same age as his son is now blasting his wife, working out in his gym.
That's cool.
Driving his cars,
riding his jet ski.
All the Brooke stuff, too.
Vote for Brooke. Just, oh, my God. But, I'm telling you, the one. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The monster truck video that we're looking through. Guess who sang the national anthem?
Hogan, Brooke Hogan.
Yeah.
I got that done.
You got that done.
I got that done.
Exactly.
When she sang the national anthem at the Lightning, I got that done.
Yeah.
What's the best case scenario, though? I mean, Rani did last night. Took a lot of
awesome
beanbags to go up there, and it seems like Hogan gave. Seems like he's thought about this and said this before, that he forgives you, but he doesn't trust you. I mean, is it going to not sit well with you if you guys never rekindle your friendship?
No, it doesn't matter. I just definitively now, it's come from his mouth how he feels about me, and I'm good with that.
Okay.
But I think that he, Can I
go karaoke there where he goes?
Yeah.
Can I go sing?
Yeah.
So I go there with a Hulk Hogan T-shirt on and then rip it off and have my Bubba Love Sponge shirt on.
This would be amazing.
Let's not tip our hand on the air, buddy. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
What's
Hello.
your go-to song?
Superman.
Hey, good morning, Bubba. How are you?
Good, buddy.
Hey, just wanted to let you know, Bubba, it's all good, man. I think I've been a long-time listener from way back in the day, way back. Terrestrial radio, followed you around. Love Hogan, he's a mark for himself, Bubba. You said it. He has used you for so many things in the past, from his stupid white Bengal tiger calls to where he's hopped up on yellow jackets and gimmicks, dude. He's used you so many times, Bubba. I think, it's time that you just let that go. I'm interested to see your documentary.
I'm good. I mean, I will let it go. It's just disappointing to see how narcissistic. And here's the deal: the only right reason why he can't be my friend and won't be my friend is because selfishly, then people will be like, "Oh, him and Bubba were in." He wants to truly play the victim.
Yeah.
And as he always has, whether it's what Charlie using his cars and driving his jet skis, or
that way he's not a racist.
Nick not getting the fair treatment in jail, and literally calling me 3 times a day to call the sheriff to get Nick out of solitary confinement, to get him back in Gen Pop so that he could have some type of interaction, because being in solitary confinement is just absolutely drives you insane. I mean, all the things I've done for this guy. And for him to say that he can't trust me. And the one thing that I did for this guy that I kind of touched on a few minutes ago will blow everybody's mind, because had I not done what I did, Nick Hogan would have registered a lot. By the way, Nick Hogan was 19 at the time. Ooh. So having any alcohol in your system is bad. He had just absolutely a trace of alcohol in his system because of me.
But that's putting your life in jeopardy.
Yeah, well, but it just, and when I do tell that story, people are gonna be like, "Oh my God!" But I don't want to act like I don't want to look like a victim either. We've drawn lines in the sand. I know where he stands. I know where I stand.
Did you need to hear that?
Yeah, I did. I kind of did. Because I didn't know, Seth. Like I didn't know what he thought. Now I do know what he thinks.
Have you guys ended up in the same building at the same time,
Never,
like the closest? So
never.
It hasn't even been close where you guys could have.
No, I don't do anything. I don't go out for that reason. So, but anyway, sir, thank you for your call.
I think too, Bubba. When you ask the boys and you listen to some certain interviews and stuff, Terry's one of the shadiest people around in the business, man. He was all about himself, even back in the day with the boys. So, you're good, Bubba. You guys are putting on one hell of a show. It's good to hear some of this old talk back, and I'm glad you guys you back landed on your feet again, and you're doing what you do best, and that's entertain people. So, and glad to hear Lasker's voice in there. Gene, if you could take that wiffle ball bat and blast Tuttle, just one good time for all of us out here.
No.
Man, that wiffle ball bat got wasted that day.
Yeah. No. We got calm Lasker. He's not violent.
Not violent.
And calm Lasker. Now he could get violent,
I could get violent on Red, $5,000 dude.
but
but I'm not.
We're trying to keep a calm Gene is a more manageable.
Because we got to put more pictures up. So.
Hey, you guys have a great weekend, man. Keep it up, Bubba.
All right, man. Let me play a little bit of this. This is the freshman from the University of Florida Gators. He's a freshman. He came from IMG.
What did he do? Poop his pants?
Well, he's Canadian,
and he's 7'9".
Oof. He redshirted this year.
And so he's not going to play this year.
No,
he's standing there with his hand up, and it's even
just watch this. And by the way, he misses his first layup. Here we go. There she is. This is him practicing a little bit.
I don't think you need to practice.
I don't think he does. I mean,
you got to practice that. He's as high as the hoop.
He's just bored.
Is 7'9" the tallest player ever to play at basketball?
Yes.
Yeah, it would be.
Because I think George Marison at one point was 7'7".
Yeah.
7'6".
Yeah.
So, yeah.
7'7".
Sean Bradley was up there. No one's ever been, I think, over 7'8".
Yeah.
So if he was running and he skied like Jordan does, Jordan
he could do
jump,
it from the free throw line.
He could just drop the ball down, just
Yep.
let it out of hand and fall through the hoop.
But what's crazy?
There's no upward trajectory really needed for him. He could stand flat-footed and dunk the ball.
See,
Wow.
but these big guys back in the day could not move as well as the big men that you're seeing today. Like,
Now they'll build this guy up. He's not going to play this year.
Yeah,
they'll just have him. They'll have him on a nutritional deal, and he'll just live in the weight room.
That's right.
he's growing into his body as well a lot more, because if you see some of his high school highlights, he looks a little awkward at 7.
He does look like he's gained some weight, and he looks. We saw footage of him last year when he was at IMG, and he is filling out a little bit. And if he can continue that, man, he
So
could
does
be.
he play
could
the
be
game
he
good?
He could be a force.
Yeah.
Hello,
He does play the game good?
Yeah.
hello.
No.
By the way, thank you to Rani. Thank you to Rani. Thank you to Rani, who let me sat outside with no coat on for 3 hours.
No coat.
I guess why Jimmy. I guess Jimmy Hart goes. Yeah, hold on, sir.
Yeah,
I
Jimmy
said hello a minute ago, and you didn't say anything. So
Yeah,
just
Jimmy
give me
Hart
a
goes
second.
with him.
Jimmy Hart goes with him as his hype man.
Yep.
And Jimmy Hart gets a payday, and then he's the crowd wrangler. And I guess poor Rainey stood outside for 3 hours with no coat. To get that data that we got. Thank you so much, Iggy McGillicuddy, $20. Proud of this clean-cut version of Tuttle. Congratulations, Tuttle. 200.
Thank you.
Hello, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep, I can.
Oh, hey, I got a story for you, man, about Hogan.
All right, go ahead.
I was in Orlando on Sand Lake Road near Universal. I saw him at a gas station, I don't know, about 6 months ago. This is John from Orlando, by the way.
Yeah.
I greased him a little bit, man. I was like, hey, man, you should thank Bubba for that $300 million he got you.
And what'd he say?
He didn't say anything, but I thought he was going to kill me. He turned. I could see him turn red, dude. Like literally turned red. Got in his car and left.
Should have added some more to it. Got a hit. Fell down.
Dude,
Got a payday.
Dude, he was getting into his car, man. I just like. I was like Johnny on it. I was like, hey,
Was
man,
it some kind of
$300 million.
was it some kind of Dodge Hellcat or something like that?
It was actually like it was like a Charger, and it wasn't even nothing special, man. So I was expecting something more like.
He's a big Mopar guy. He's got some pretty nice. He's got some nice pieces. He does.
Should have helped him shut the door.
It was like a white plain Jane 392 Hemi, nothing crazy.
Right. Appreciate you.
But I greased him a little bit, man. I thought I'd get more of a reaction, but he just kind of turned red and left.
You should have said, "Man, Bubba's done so many jobs for you. You can't be his friend."
Yeah, I just thought it probably hit him right where it hurts. Where it's like, hey,
Anybody that sees Hogan, just say, "Hey, man, Bubba, how about the job that Bubba did for you when they were getting ready to pull Nick's blood for his blood alcohol content on the Graziano wreck? Why don't you consider that as the ultimate gift that Bubba could have done for you? Because your kid would have gotten vehicular attempted manslaughter and probably did 8 years.
Well, not to mention his net worth went up 50% just from screwing your wife, you know?
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate the reminder. Merry Christmas to you, buddy. So, Tuttle, did his Orlando Beach place still stay open, or did they close them?
Last that I heard that it's open, but they're not really doing any big events or anything out there.
It's open.
It's still open?
Yeah.
So he's got a surf shop. He's got a tourist surf shop in Orlando and in Clearwater Beach. And then in Clearwater Beach, he's actually got Hogan's Hangout, which is a beach bar.
You know, like I don't know if it's been recent, but he still goes on the Monsters every so often, I think.
Yeah, he does. He needs that radio show push because he's so narcissistic. Let's not forget, he went on the Calta show.
Yeah, that was
in April of 2013 when I'm the morning man, but the tape dropped in October. He went on the Calta show and actually, did I play that? I don't know that I played that.
Yeah, you played it. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's where he goes, what,
the one where he's stumbling.
Yeah, I mean, I've played the, but did I play the before that and after that?
Yeah, you played the whole thing.
Where Hogan's like, man, it's really good to get back on the radio and have somebody that I can trust to get back on the radio and spew all my nonsense and beg for all the free stuff that I used to get with Biz.
Yeah, Bischoff was in the background.
Yeah, Bischoff was in the background. So.